Hey, what's up? It's me, Awesome Ali.
And I'm Race, and welcome back to day 24 on the 90 days to becoming an
Woo!
awesome person. Today we have a really good quote of the day, and it actually calls for some discussion. So, Ali, what is the quote of the day?
Thank you, Race. Today's quote of the day is by Tony Robbins. He said, "Remember, reward comes in action and not in discussion." So I'll say that again. Very simple, very short. He said, "Remember, reward comes in action and not in discussion." Race, so what are your thoughts, comments on this?
This one is very interesting because I just put in the title as well. Discussion must turn into action for the result of a reward. What Tony Robbins is saying is that in order for you to achieve the results you want, you have to move past the discussion of finding out what it is, creating the plan, and just do it. Because you might have all the great ideas, you might have all the great plans, but if you never put it into action, you never know whether you'll succeed or fail. And sometimes those are the things in life that are most rewarding because you did it, rather than, it's also what Les Brown says, a lot of stories go to the graveyard because, people in their lifetime don't get to share those stories and put it out there. So yeah, that's my perspective on it.
Very interesting, Ray. So for me, my perspective on the interpretation of this quote is saying that there's a lot of people who like to talk and a lot of talkers there's a lot of people who just like to talk out there talking about, hey, I had $1 million idea. And then 1 year down the road, they're still, hey, I have $1 million idea, but not $1 million business, right? So they haven't taken action, like you were saying, on the idea, but they're just discussing it, sharing it, right? Too many people spend too much time in, always, okay, do the research, do this, do that. While research for your product is extremely important to help sell and help build, that shouldn't be the reason that you're not selling though, right? Or you're not building your company. That's a stepping stone that you can come along with the way as you start to develop your product, your services, and everything else, because you want to be able to start getting your money in the door and as you start to build up everything. So that's what I got from this is a discussion, right? Stop talking so much and then start doing. Write your plan, write your ideas down. Those are the first steps that you should be doing, taking your thoughts out of your head and putting it on a piece of paper so you can, one, remember it and allow you to focus on the next thing that you have to accomplish, rather than saying to yourself every morning when you wake up, what was that $1 million idea I had? What was it? I can't remember it. So that's what I would suggest. And Mary Long says, good morning, sending us the sunrise and a hello. Hello, Mary.
Hi, Mary. How are you? We're going to try something fun here on our Instagram. Ooh, here is the Sunday morning. This is the live. What?
All
that
right.
was fun.
Okay, so what is our tip for today?
Okay, our tip for today is to go to a library and pick out a random book. Challenge yourself to read that book all the way through. Start learning the expectations of the unknown and being prepared to learn anything. This is a really, really good tip because you always hear the saying, don't judge a book by its cover, and it's true. And then you have some of the books where the introduction is very slow, but you have to read up to the middle part for it to be very, very interesting. Or the whole book can be super amazing and it has a terrible end. But those are just some examples of why you should read the book all the way through. And I like this challenge because, sometimes you can go out of bounds with books because they take you into many different worlds. And if you're trying to get into, business or entrepreneurship, a lot of these self-help books or, motivational books, they sometimes can be hard to get into. So just challenge yourself to read those and yeah.
See, I have a different opinion on that. When people say people don't judge a book by its cover, totally wrong. My biggest lie ever. Because I know every single person, when they pick up the book, if the title's not great and the cover page looks weird, you put back down the book. You don't read it because it doesn't look interesting One, and also because it just seems you don't want to be reading it. It doesn't gravitate toward you. And what our challenge for you is right now, I would say, if you're in the personal development world arena and you're already in the business one, right? And your mind is always inside of this, right? Of always business, motivation, self-development, get better, do more, how to be more efficient, right? If you're always in that, right, there's moments of, I would say, stress points sometimes if when you're not taking action on it, because you start to create some guilt within yourself because you know you're lying to yourself because you're like, oh, damn, in that last book I just read, it told me to do this and I'm not doing this, right? So you start to feel guilty in yourself. So why don't you start switching it up? Expanding your horizon on things that you can learn. Pick a biography, right? Just go down the aisle, grab that book out, right, and read it all the way through, as my sister said. If you don't like biographies, try it out, right? If you're always into nonfiction, maybe picking up a fictional book this time just to spark some more imagination inside of you, which is extremely important, and maybe picking up a more like naturalistic book and stuff. Always trying to pick up something new and different from you, rather than if you're just sticking in one aisle, you're very limited to what you might be reading. Even though people say stick in your lane all the way, but that doesn't mean you don't have to stick in your lane for your mental space. You can open up a broad horizon so you can create meaningful connections with people when you encounter them and you get a chance to talk. So that is our tip for today. That's our quote for today. Raisa, do you have anything else to add?
No, this was presented by APSOW.
Awesome people.
Shaping our world.
Remember, you are awesome.
And you can make the world a better place. Bye.
Bye.